What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So some of my favorite rebuilds we've done as of late have been building around guys who have basically blossomed this year. And there's another guy in Milwaukee that we haven't talked about just yet, that being Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins is playing super well in Milwaukee right now and kind of going under the radar a little bit. So just like we've done with some of the other guys like Reeves and Kaishan George and VJ Edgecombe, we're gonna be doing that same exact thing with Ryan Rollins in this particular Bucks rebuild today. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically we are pushing Ryan Rollins' development up super high. So he is going to become a superstar in this rebuild at some point. So he's 23 years old right now. Obviously, still have Giannis Antetokounmpo, but if someone like Ryan Rollins were to develop really well, that could save Giannis staying in Milwaukee. So that's kind of the goal that we have right now. So as I mentioned, his progression should shoot up like crazy. I have his potential up very, very high. So I'm expecting him to just develop extremely well for the rest of the season. So that is kind of the goal we have in mind. So here's what it's looking like right now as your rotation. And we are just going to simply also push his shot tendency up quite a bit on top of everything else we've done. So Ryan Rollins' shot tendency is going to go up super high, and he'll be basically the co-star to Giannis is what the hope is. So let's go ahead, sim with the rest of year one. The Bucks are usually pretty bad in the 2K sim, I feel like. So let's see if Ryan Rollins developing into a superstar would change that. At the end of year number one, SGA wins MVP. Flag is your rookie of the year. Scoot is your sixth man. Wimby is your D-Point, and most improved goes to Nemius. And Giannis is your clutch player. Mark is your coach of the year, and executive goes to John Murphy. And D-Book won Cup MVP. So we do get Giannis making an All-NBA first team, and here is your All-NBA third, All-NBA second. Do get Giannis All-Defensive first team. Unfortunately, what we did not save anything. We end up as attempts in the East, and we were pretty bad in this simulation as well. We went 35 and 47, just barely. Well, I guess it says the Hornets secured play-in spot too, but that doesn't really make sense because they didn't, but whatever. So I don't know what that's all about, but here were your player stats. So you had 17 from Ryan Rollins, and you had 27 from Giannis Antetokounmpo. So of course Ryan Rollins isn't playing super well just yet, but that is coming in due time. But he definitely should have been considered for most improved player, and probably is in the conversation right now to this day. Miles Turner with 14, 12 from Kuzma, and 12 from Bobby Portis. I imagine, holy smoke, sorry, as I was talking I just started coughing like crazy. I imagine we're not going to get very far here, so we're probably going to lose to the, we lost to the Heat. So kind of expected that. So let's go ahead and see who goes on to win the championship, and we'll continue on from there. So the Mavericks, of course, but no, it's the Timberwolves and the Cavaliers, and the Timberwolves will beat the Cavs in 4 games. So going into the draft lottery, we actually end up with the 10th overall pick, which actually seems pretty good. Pacers get 1, Blazers 2, and Rockets via Brooklyn, which obviously is not true. But we will definitely take the 10th pick added to this team. Doc Rivers, I mean, he's got the badges in 2K, but I do think it would probably make sense to fire him at this point. So I am going to go ahead and move on from him. And I did see Will Hardy out here, so I do think I'm going to go ahead and snag him to be our brand new head coach, because I just think that would probably be much better. So let's go to draft night. We'll be picking at number 10, which should be super helpful. We could trade this pick right now as well, or we could just draft. I feel like we could get somebody good at 10 though, which is why I think I am going to go ahead and draft. But I am going to fix the Rockets having the Nets pick, because that's not entirely true at all, at least for this offseason. Next offseason, I do believe the Rockets have it, but not this time. And then we'll go ahead and pick at number 10 with whoever we get, unless we make a trade. So hopefully we get somebody pretty good to fall to us at pick 10. So let's see what has been taken so far. So Peterson, Mikel Brown, Agent Banza, Cameron Boozer, Dash Daniels, Jaden, Luigi. Okay, so what do we got on the board for us? We have Caleb Wilson, we have Kareem Lopez, Darius, Chris. And then, I'm not really loving anything too particular on the board. JT Toppin, I guess, is cool. But I think I might go take Elijah Arenas here. I mean, he's not someone that I've ever taken before, I believe, but I've seen him develop really well. So I'm going to go ahead and take a chance on Elijah Arenas. Now, this is kind of a risky pick. I think he is hurt right now, so that's definitely a concern. And that would probably be like Giannis being like, what the hell are we doing? But Giannis, trust me, trust the process in this one. We got this. All right, we got it. So we got Thanasis as a free agent. We'll even resign your brother for you to keep him around. All right, so we'll do that. And now we just need to probably do a little bit more than just what we just did. So we know Ryan Rollins is going to develop really well this offseason. So our point guard position to me is settled, and it's fine. Shooting guard, Elijah Arenas. I mean, he's going to be a 72 overall once he's healthy. So really can't trust him to start this year at least. Gary Trent is not really someone that should be starting at the 3. So yeah, this team needs a bunch of work. So we got to get started already. I will say this is kind of risky business, but I kind of like the idea of it. We send Bobby Portis, Kuzma, AJ Green over to Philadelphia. We get a first-round pick out of the trade, and we get Paul George. Paul George played fairly well last year, and I definitely think we can work with them at least going into next season to be our starting small forward. That's all I need him for. So, again, getting this unprotected Philadelphia pick makes me feel really good as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and do this trade. The 76ers get off Paul George's contract. We take him on for the year. And I will say, also, moving to small forward goes up to an 83 overall. And also, I will say he has a big expiring player option that we can maybe use in the future. So, kind of a risky trade, but Giannis, Paul George, Ryan Rollins, Miles Turner. I mean, and of course, Miles Turner and Paul George reunited as well. I kind of like it. We're going to see how it goes, but I think I can get down with it. So I don't hate it. We just need to hopefully get better in different spots, which is not going to be easy. But we got Gary Trent is going to start the 2 next year. Ryan Rollins, KPJ, Gary Harris, Ajax. We got Taurean Prince. I mean, again, it's not sexy by any means, but backup center DeAndre Ayton, I think I like the idea of. So I'm going to give DeAndre Ayton a 3-year deal to be our backup 5. And we're going to get Thanasis back as well. So DeAndre Ayton is going to come to Milwaukee. And then give me Corey Kispert for sure as well. And also, I think I saw Josh Minot. And yeah, I'm definitely down for that too. So hopefully he will take a minimum. Corey Kispert signing. Minot is going to sign. So that is solid. We'll take that. Now, where's Ryan Rollins' progression? And it is up to an 88 overall. So that's what we kind of wanted to accomplish in this video. Paul George is down 1 overall, and Miles Turner is down 1 overall, and the Ayton is up to an 81. So Ayton may start for all we know. But Elijah Reynold's is a long-term project outlook. We'll have to see how that turns out. But I feel pretty good about the offseason we just had. We collected an extra asset. We took a flyer on Paul George. Hopefully, he can just be a serviceable starter. And then once his contract is a big expiring $56 million deal, we can maybe use it and make a trade with it, potentially. That's kind of my thought process with that. I mean, power rank fairly high on us right now. We are 2nd overall under Will Hardy as a new coach. So that gives me a lot of hope and optimism. So Ryan Rollins, Gary Trent, Paul George, Giannis, DeAndre Ayton, Miles Turner, Corey Kispert, Josh Minot, Kevin Porter Jr. And if we run a 10-man rotation, which actually I'll probably just leave it at 9. This looks pretty solid. I think we can get by with this. I think we can make the playoffs this year. At least I hope so, because this is going to be Giannis kind of, waiting. He's kind of needing to make the playoffs and compete for championships. That's what he wants to do. So Rollins, I need you to be really good this year if you can. I think you will rise to the occasion is my guess. Although I will say we're off to a very incredible start, but hopefully we turn it around. I will see you guys at the end of year 2, unless if I do make a trade, but I don't envision doing so until this upcoming offseason. Originally I was going to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo throughout this video, but we are once again struggling at this point, so I do think it makes sense to probably just trade him. And there's been a lot of rumors about Giannis to pretty much anywhere, but Brooklyn has been a destination that's been mentioned a couple of times. So I want to make that happen here. Would the Nets trade AJ Dubans to get Giannis Antetokounmpo? I have no idea, but for this video, we are going to make this happen, and Thanasis waives his no trade clause, and they decline my offer, but they don't have a choice in the matter. When it comes to superstar trades, we make them go through because you get value for guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo. So we're going to get AJ Dubans. I will say that one's much closer than, other ones I've talked about before. Would the Nets really trade like a generational prospect like Dubans to get Giannis at 32 years old? More than likely not. But this video's for fun anyway, so it really doesn't matter that much. We're 21 and 28, which is why I thought it made sense to go ahead and do something different. So yeah, that's what we've done. Ryan Rollins is injured at the moment, but at this point, and then once Arenas is back, we're basically going to be running or going in a younger direction on this Bucks franchise, and hopefully we can make it work. So this season did not go very well, but I was kind of hoping to see maybe most improved for Ryan Rollins. Unfortunately, did not get that, and yeah, that's kind of what I expected. So here is your all NBA teams and stuff. It really doesn't matter for us too much right now. We did not make the playoffs, and here were your end of the season player stats. So Ryan Rollins did average 27 games. He averaged 27 points, but only played 52 games. Dubans was 17. Porter with 14, 13 from Ayton, and 13 from KPJ, and 12 from Paul George. So let's go ahead and see who goes on to win the championship this year. But Brooklyn didn't even get in after trading for Giannis, which is kind of ironic, I will say. But they can build themselves a super team this offseason, hopefully. Cooper Flag and the Mavericks, they go on to win the championship, which, they always seem to do. Here are your retirements, and let's get to this lottery. We got that Philadelphia pick, and I'm pretty sure it was good at the deadline. So don't know how they finished out. but they finished up at 30-52. So we're going to get that 76ers lottery pick, which is really nice. And I do believe our pick is headed elsewhere, unfortunately. So, yeah, our pick is projected to be in the top 5, which kind of sucks. And it is going to end up at 6, but we end up with 7. Or no, our pick ended up at number 1. Wow, that's actually really unfortunate. Now, thankfully, this draft class is a little bit weaker than others, but that still hurts. That still hurts. So we have the 7th pick, though, from the 76ers because of taking on Paul George's contract. We also have another first in this draft, I noticed as well. So 2 first-round picks in this draft. Not the greatest draft class in the world, but we're going to try our best to make the best of the situation. So let's go pick at number 7 and see who seems to fall to us. So we got Hugo, we got Mika, we got Jason Crow, Caleb Gaskins, Cameron, Taj Reza down the board, George Smith, or Brendan McCoy. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Hugo here. So Hugo is going to be our pick out of France. And then at number 19, we will take Caleb Gaskins. So we get 2 power forwards added to the Bucks in the place of Giannis being gone now. 77 and 74, not bad. Player options, Rollins declines. Paul George, of course, accepts it. But Rollins is someone we, theme of the video, so we're going to try to keep him. Hopefully gives us the bird rights on him. It does. So, yeah, he's asked for a lot of money because his progression or his, potential is pretty crazy, obviously. So we'll bring him back, but probably going to let the rest of these guys walk, basically. So all these guys are gone. Ryan Rollins is the only one coming back in this situation as of right now. Giannis is hitting up free agency, and he might go join the Warriors and not go back to Brooklyn. That'd be kind of a fleece job, I'm not going to lie. But it's not my problem this time. Miles Turner is someone I'm going to trade, and I'm also going to try to trade Paul George away, even though I'm not really expecting to get much for him because the man's making $56 million. I don't know if anybody's going to take this on. It was kind of we got a 7th pick out of it. All right, we'll take that. I think I'm fine with this swap with the Chicago Bulls. Patrick Williams is someone who plays really well in the 2K sim. As you can see, shooting 47% from 3 last year, and we can move him over to the 3. I don't hate that idea. Off the bench to have Patrick Williams, we'll go ahead and take that on and be happy with that. So that seems like a solid pick. So now Rollins at point guard. Arenas, I'm definitely excited to see what he could do this coming season. I don't know how much he'll develop with him being injured all year, but it is what it is on that. Again, I think Paul George is probably just kind of stuck here. I don't really expect him to play much next year, though, at this point. I mean, yeah, trying to trade him is probably not going to get us anywhere. So I'm just going to move him to shooting guard. And then Patrick Williams, DeBonza, and Hugo will... Well, I'll probably move Hugo over to the 4, but we'll see. And then Ayton is our starting center at this very moment. So we'll probably try to fill out the rest of the bench. So we got Walter Clayton, which I'll definitely give an offer to be our backup. And then let's see if there is a center we can sign to kind of give Ayton some competition, I would say. Nick Richards, probably not the best competition, but we'll just go ahead and take him. So that is the offseason. It's not a great one by any means. We do have Rollins up to a 93. You got the Bonds up to an 82. Ayton is down. Walter Clayton is up. And Elijah Arenas is up. He's up to a 77. And, with the injury, I don't know what his overall truly is. I don't know if it's really showing me that or not. And Paul George, of course, just regressed like crazy. But Elijah Arenas should be ready for the start of next year. So I'm definitely excited to see what this is going to look like. So here is a rotation going into the season. Funny enough, they're wanting to start Patrick Williams over DeBonza, which doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. Like, I like Patrick Williams and all, but that's the Banzas rule. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. So we're going to force non-starter on Patrick Williams and have AJ obviously take over that starting 3 spot. So Rollins, Arenas, healthy, DeBanza, Hugo, DeAndre Ayton, Patrick Williams, Walter Clayton, Precious, Nick Richards, and that is your rotation. So not a lot to like here. I'm going to run 10-man as well, and I also want to get Caleb Gaskins involved this year if I can. So we'll go Caleb Gaskins in here over Tyus Jones. So we'll see what this looks like. I don't expect to make the playoffs this year by any means, but if we could just kind of show some promise with some of our young guys, that's all I'm really looking for out of this season. And then step by step, we'll get closer and closer to being back to being a contender. So once again, here are the awards where we just will not be spoken about. Just another really bad season. We do get Ryan Rollins, though, making All-NBA second team, averaging 28 points per game. So that's pretty nice to see. And he made an all-star team this year as well. So that's awesome. Here's All-NBA third team, all-defensive first, and all-defensive second team. And your all-rookies, we do get Elijah Arenas making, which is nice. And we do get Hugo also making it, which is also cool. But not in the playoffs by any means. Here were your player stats as we were a young team, so kind of expected a bad season out of this. DeBonza got hurt, but it was towards the end. Ryan Rollins 28, 14 from Hugo, 13 from Ayton. I think the biggest thing for us this offseason is upgrading the starting center position. Like, I like Ayton, but not as a starting. Actually, I don't even really love Aiden that much. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm an Aiden guy, but we got the Hawks and the Suns. The Suns beat the Hawks in 7, but Aiden was a nice backup to have. Paul George is going to call it, which is fine by me. We were not going to re-sign him anyway. So let's go to the draft lottery, and I don't believe we get our pick, but yeah, we have a swap with the Blazers though, and both of us are really bad. So we're going to be having we could get a top 5 pick this offseason, I will say. And we get number 3. And it's funny because that's legit because it's a pick swap. So Blazers and Bucks both being bad worked out in our favor. So I love that. So we get to pick at number 3 overall to add to this equation. So let's go jump into that and see what we get at pick number 3, shall we? So number 1 is going to be CJ Rosser. Number 2 is going to be Marcus Spears. And we will be taking either Lincoln Cosby, which I do think that's probably who I'll end up taking here. So welcome to Milwaukee, Lincoln Cosby. He will be a 80 overall. So yeah, I think we did fairly well there. So welcome. Gonna be a really nice addition. Williams accepting this player option kind of sucks, but not shocking by any means. Leonard Miller, probably won't worry about him. And then, like I said, the biggest thing for me, can we upgrade the starting center position? Is there anybody worth it going for? So let's see. We got Klingon out here. We got Sar. And we got Sabonis. So a lot of the top centers here are restricted, which are going to be really tough to kind of pry them away. And we don't have money for that anyway. Klingon, we don't have money for either. So yeah, not a lot of money to work with. So maybe we make a trade for a center rather than trying to sign one, basically. Well, I think I got my eyes set on Jarrett Allen, probably. I mean, we need a starting center, and he's pretty good as far as just playing his role as a 5. So that's kind of what I'll go after. He's on an expiring contract, so I do think we could probably get him off the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let's see if we were willing to offer them something. Would they take it? So Patrick Williams, of course, gets the conversation started. And Caleb Gaskins is valuable. Do we have... I mean, we have this Nets pick, which is pretty valuable. Do we want to punt that pick away? I mean, we could. Let's see what they say to that. They say, what did they say to that? What was that? They said, we're simply lose too much out of our main center. We need to accept it. However, I have a counter. Oh, counter. Okay, we get DeAndre Hunter. We get Hugo on. No, we can't do that. Sorry. We're getting close to a trade, though. Gaskins or Clayton. I'll throw Clayton in here, and we'll throw you another pick for... Well, let's just try Clayton instead. They don't agree to that. What about another pick? If they don't accept this, I was about to say I might walk away. But we get Jarrett Allen. So Jarrett Allen feels like a solid center to have. DeAndre Ayton is still going to be the backup, which I feel fine with that being the case. So, yeah, we just need to fill out our bench, which I think Hugo or Gaskins can slide over to the 3, so that's not a problem. We have our center rotation, so just need to focus on the guard spot, and we should be good. So we traded away Clayton. We got AJ Mitchell or Peyton Pritchard, which I was told yesterday at the... Well, I was playing basketball and I was being told I look like Peyton Pritchard. So that's pretty interesting. Never been told that before. Been told I look like Kevin Huerter, Luka Doncic. Never heard anything about Peyton Pritchard though. So AJ Mitchell though is always a nice backup point guard to have. And then we will go, I mean, we could get let's go Tyrese Proctor. I've never really signed him before. Could be interesting to have. And I'll sign another one just in case with Keon Ellis. Always love snagging him as well as a perfect role player. So that will be the offseason. We'll see how that goes, as we do have development from Arenas up to an 83. Debanza's up, which Debanza's not developing as much as I thought he would, but Hugo's up to an 82. Arena's up to an 83, and Ryan Rollins up to a 94. I mean, this team feels like it should be a playoff team this year. I'm going to move Gaskins over to the small forward spot to be the backup. So we'll go with that, and that seems fine with me. All right, let's get into this next season, and let's see if this team can finally make the damn playoffs. So here is the rotation going into this season. Ryan Rollins, of course, leading the way with 34 minutes game with Arenas, Debanza, Hugo, Jarrett Allen, AJ Mitchell, DeAndre, Lincoln Cosby, and Caleb Gaskins, and Tyrese Proctor. I like it a lot. We got some depth as well. This should be a playoff team, I feel like. Proficiency is a 3.5. Can we be 4-star anywhere? Not quite, but I think by the end of this, we will be a 4-star proficiency if I had to guess. Hopefully, we'll find ourselves in the playoff mix, but we're off to a very, very bad start. Not good at all. So at the end of the season, Wemby wins MVP. Rosser is your Rookie of the Year. Yegor Dibbins your 6th man. Wemby is your DPOY. Stefan is your Most Improved. And Paulo is your Clutch Player. And Fence is your Coach of the Year. And Nathan Mack is your Executive. And Franz is your Cup MVP. So here is your All-NBA first team, as Rollins makes an All-NBA first team, which is awesome. Career high, it looks like it's 51 points, which was nice this season. Averaged 25 points per game. Here's your All-NBA second and All-NBA third, all defensive first team and all defensive second team. So nothing going on for us there. We do get Cosby making all rookie second team. So We finished the season right at 41 and 41, so nothing spectacular to be honest with you. So we weren't, yeah, didn't love the record, but we are the 6th seed nonetheless. So here were your player stats. You had 25 from Rollins, 18 from DeBonza, and honestly, I've not been impressed with DeBonza's development. I've seen him develop really well before, but this one today, he's not developing really well whatsoever. Arena's going down does not help either. He was our starting 2-guard, but we'll have to go on without him. So let's go see what the rotation is going to look like going in then. Keon Ellis gets to start, which is fine. So let's see if we could beat the Indiana Pacers, who seem to have Halliburton, Peterson. Oh boy. Yeah, we're probably not getting past this round if I had to guess. I didn't mean to go simply current round, but we lost game 1. We lost game 2. And we lost game 3. So yeah, we're done for here. Not even close. So we lose, and that was kind of to be expected. But maybe I'm just not impressed with DeBonza as the second guy to trust, honestly. I don't know. Mavericks want to beat the Hawks, but looks like we may have to make a tough decision. Just saying. So, draft lottery. We end up with the 8th pick via the Nets, which is nice. And, yeah, I might look to make some interesting decisions this offseason. Will Hardy, I'll still keep. Got us in the playoffs this year. We'll draft him number 8, even though I have no idea if this guy is going to stay on the team, but we'll bring him in anyway. So, Eric Dampier, welcome out of Marquette. What's his overall? It might be our good backup center for all we know. 77, not bad. We'll sign him. DeBonza, they want us to decline it, which is interesting. He did get a career high of 41 points last year, but man, if he could get us someone better out there, I think we might have to take the chance on it. So I didn't see anything I liked right now for trading away DeBonza away, but I am going to try to get Jarrett Allen back, and we may not get him back. So that's going to go ahead and give us a hole at the center position, which is not good, but yeah, I don't even think I could do this anymore. So Jarrett Allen's not going to come back to the team, unfortunately. So that is going to be an L in its own right. I really wish 2K would have kept that player finder offer contract thing in, but they got rid of it, which really sucks. But looks like we're literally his last offer that he wanted to come back to. So that's very unfortunate. So Jarrett Allen's going to Indiana, which is the ops that we just, lost to. So that sucks, but we have, oh no, he's still here. He's still here actually. So we might have to come in a little bit higher because I think losing him would kind of hurt. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a big offer, and he still isn't going to accept it unless he's still debating on it. Oh, he's number 1 offer. And he does sign. So we get Jarrett Allen back. I thought we were losing him for sure based off what we saw there. But we got him back. So that feels good. I don't know if he'll stay throughout, but I'm happy to have him anyway. And backup shooting guard, give me Jace Richardson. So we'll go Jace Richardson to be our backup shooting guard. And we have plenty of salary to maybe execute a trade if needed, especially if DeBonza doesn't show me anything. He's up. He's not moving. Yeah, he's got to go, man. 85 Hugo and 85 Elijah Arenas. But I think if we can get a star for DeBonza, I think we got to do it, man. He's just not developing in anything. Cosby's up to an 82. I'm surprised that his stunt or his growth has stumped this low. If I can get rid of him right now, I would, but I just don't know if I'll find anything at the moment. But I think we could definitely afford to get rid of him if we chose to. To me, I like this trade a lot. So we get Memphis, DeBonza, AJ Mitchell, we get Brandon McCoy, and Cedric Coward. I think I am going to go ahead and do this trade. I'm just kind of stumped on DeBonza just not developing whatsoever. That really hurts quite a bit. So he was supposed to be kind of like a guy for us, and he's just not turning into that at all. But we have so many other guys to be excited about. So that should give someone else a role to be the second guy over DeBonza, who was just not very good. So I'm going to hope that he was the one kind of holding us back, and that this season will just blossom into a top seed in this Eastern Conference. I think we have the talent for it, but we need to see it through and see it happen. So Power Rank does have us 14th overall. We're still only 3.5 proficiency, which is kind of unfortunate, but let's see what the rotation is going to look like. So we got Ryan Rollins, Elijah Arenas, Cedric Coward, Hugo, Jarrett Allen, Jace Richardson, Cosby, McCoy, Gaskins, and then if we run 10 deep, we get Eric Dampier, probably some minutes down here as well, or Proctor, which is fine by me as well. Who is going to score outside of Ryan Rollins is the question. So Rollins' shot tendency is super high, but who needs to be the second guy? Is it Elijah Arenas? Is it just kind of a mix between a bunch of guys? Could it be Cedric Coward? I kind of want to give Elijah Arenas the idea of being able to do that, though. So I'm going to give Arenas a bigger role this year. Hopefully he could take advantage of it, bring some touch tendencies down a little bit for some of these other guys, especially McCoy. 99 is a little too crazy. So yeah, Elijah Arenas and Ryan Rollins lead us to the promised land. So hopefully this time, let's see if we get off to a much better start, because last year was kind of a rough start and already way better. Not saying that trading DeBonza fixed all of our problems, but It's much better than last year. We were really horrible to start last year, although 10-7 isn't anything to be overly happy about, but I will take it over the alternative. But let's see if we can continue to be good or not. I do have a trade here at the trade deadline, as Elijah Arenas just isn't doing it for me right now. I'm going to try to get Trey Johnson out to the Chicago Bulls. He's averaging 24 points per game on 47% from three. So I think we found our new backcourt pairing with Ryan Rollins. Mark Sears is a backup to replace McCoy as well. We're getting her at the power forward a little bit, but we do have some forward depth that I think we can get by. So going to do this trade. Hurts us a little bit depth-wise, but like I said, I feel like we needed a legitimate scorer next to Rollins, and Trey Johnson is exactly that, which is why I felt pretty good about doing that trade. I'm also going to go ahead and move Cosby to the 3. Actually, he doesn't move. Never mind. So we're going to leave him the way he is. So what do we got? I mean, obviously, I know we got kind of weak at some positions. 3 still have Gaskins, though. Yeah, I guess we just leave it the way it is right now. So Trey Johnson's kind of the new addition to the team. We're 30-22 right now. We had to take a swing, and I'm hoping Trey Johnson could be the swing that pays off, but we'll see if that is truly the case or not. So Peterson and Indy wins MVP. Garma is your Rookie of the Year. Mikael Brown is your 6th man. Wimby is your D point, and Bruce Branch is your Most Improved. Peterson also gets Clutch Player, and Jordan Ott is your Coach of the Year, and Lance Alford is your Executive. And Jarrett Allen did get the Cup MVP, which was nice. So we already got the Cup, man. So what do we need a championship for? But here's your All-NBA first team. No Ryan Rollins this time, but he is on All-NBA second team, up to a 95 overall, playing super well over there. And All-NBA third, all defensive first, and all defensive second. This is the first year that we actually feel like a real playoff team. We're the first seed in the East, so it looks like the Trey Johnson trade may have paid off. We'll see, though. So Ryan Rollins, Trey Johnson, both averaging 23 and 25. Jarrett Allen being the third guy with 14 and 10. And then, yeah, it's just kind of the rest of the roster. So let's see if we can come out here and go on a deep playoff run. Like I said, it's the first time we actually feel like a playoff team. So let's see how this is going to go. We get Atlanta in round 1, which is always a tough opponent. So getting them in round 1 does scare me a little bit, but let's see. Game 1 does go to them, as I said that, but we do even it up. They blew us out in game 1 pretty good too, and we're gonna lose in the first round, aren't we? Although we do even it up on them, so maybe, just maybe, we could still get out of this, but we got to win game 5, and the Hawks are giving us some issues. But them in the AFC, it's kind of a travesty, I will say. That's not what I would have loved to have seen. And we do take it at the very end, and I mean at the very end. Can we win game 6? Yes, we can. So beat Atlanta in 6 games, and now another tough opponent, as usual, being the Knicks, who are always pretty tough to deal with as well. Cedric Howard is hurt at the moment, but he's just gonna have to play through that. Indy and Chicago on the other side. Peterson is hurt. I wonder how long he's out for. If it doesn't look like very long at all, though. But I would say, if he's out for the whole playoff run, that'd be nice. But he's out for, yeah, he'll be back. So he's day to day. Maybe the Bulls can beat them, though, because of that. I don't know. We get to deal with the Knicks, though. So Hawks scared us. Let's see if we can beat the Knicks. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 goes to the Knicks. Game 4 goes to the Knicks. And I mean, well, we do win game 5. So we're, oh, the Bulls did take out the Pacers as well. So maybe that Peterson injury did affect them. But the Knicks may send us home here. And oh my gosh, it was so close, 119-123. So we lose to the Knicks in the second round. That felt like the first year we actually felt real, but the Bulls do get to the finals, and they are going to beat, oh no, they lost to the Warriors in 7. Is that where Giannis went? Wow, Giannis gets the last laugh with Ayton, who also laughs at us, and they win a championship together. Interesting. Got to give this one more go. I feel like we got to try one more time. And I do want to trade Cedric Howard as well. I feel like we need more of a natural small forward. So I think that'll be the last move we do. And we'll see if that changes anything at all. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this trade with the Atlanta Hawks. We get Dyson Daniels, who is more of a shooting guard, but obviously we could play him at the 3 with how good he is on defensive end. So I'm going to do this trade, and that feels like the big upgrade we need. And then, of course, we also bring in Joe Mazzulla to be the new coach of the Bucks. So hopefully that helps us out as well. But we're going into this year with a lot of hope and optimism that, you know, this will be finally the year. But we'll see if that is the case. I will try to bring Mark Sears back, as well as Peterson's a free agent, and Mark Sears is our only one. And we do have some cap room, which is actually kind of surprising. So is someone a free agent I'm not aware of? Jace Richardson, Dyson Daniels, which I guess Arena, or oh, Trey Johnson's gone. Oh boy, that's big. I just realized that. So Trey Johnson, we have to give a contract to. So let's make sure we get Trey Johnson back on the deal, back on the team. So in fact, I'm gonna make sure Just kidding. It won't even let me, or unless we do it like it won't even let me renounce Mark Sears. So hopefully it lets me resign Trey Johnson. And of course it does not, but it wouldn't let me do anything. Okay, so Trey Johnson. Now we don't have enough money, which is just super annoying. The Magic are in on him. Is there any easy contract we can dump? Not really. I guess it's Mark Sears, who I was trying to trade away or trying to cancel the deal, but it wouldn't let me for some reason. So that's kind of annoying. Just take him off me, Denver. For a second, you can have him. Yeah, not Jokic. We're not doing anything like that. But I want Trey Johnson back. Like, he's a big part of what we're doing here. So let's give him an option. No trade clause. I guess I can't give him no trade clause. If we can't get him, this video may be cooked. But we are going to get him back. So that's nice. So we got Trey Johnson back. Big time addition there. So now we have Ryan Rollins, Trey Johnson. We'll move Dyson to the 3. Gaskin's backing up. Lincoln Cosby. And then hopefully Dan Pierre develops really nicely too. And we just need a backup point guard after obviously getting rid of Mark Sears. So I'll go Jason Crow Jr., who might develop into something. Just kidding, goes to Minnesota. This will be the last offseason, though. Mitchell, we can't seem to get anybody. What about you? You want to sign? Yes, he does. And then power forward, Kumenga, or you can go Cameron here. Give me Cameron as a backup, and that will be the final move. So let's move Daniels to the 3. And we will go in with the hope that this is the year that it finally all clicks. So progression, been a lot of movement in this video. Dampierre's up to an 81, so we'll at least take that as Allen's down. So Dampier may start this year. Daniels goes up after we moved him, and Ryan Rollins still a 96 overall. All right, man, let's give it all we got. Let's get to the end of this next season, and let's see if this is the year that maybe we bring home a title. So one interesting thing about this video to end this off is Wemby went over to Minnesota, which I don't think I've ever seen that before. We did go 61 in 21. Arenas went to Miami and won most improved players. So shout out to him for that, but he didn't develop past 85, so I don't feel bad for moving on from him. We get Rollins making All-NBA first team again, which is just incredible. And hopefully, like I said, this is the year, man, because this is all we're going to give now. So player stats wise, yeah, 26 from Ryan Rollins, 24 from Trey Johnson. 14 from Cameron, and Daniels is only day-to-day, so he should be back. We get the Washington Wizards in round 1, former team of Trey Johnson. Although I will say they look pretty good as well, which is not surprising because the further you get in the 2K sim, everyone's team basically starts looking good. So game 1, we're up 1-0. Game 2, we go up 2-0. Game 3, 3-0. And do we sweep the Wizards? We do. And now we get Charlotte. So we're not dealing with some of those teams that scare me. Charlotte's not a team that often terrifies me, but they're here for a reason. Ace Bailey, Johnny Furphy, Paul LaMelo still there. Bamba is their starting center. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. So far, this is going smooth, but the Hornets win Game 3 and Game 4. So this is back to being kind of terrifying here. So let's see if we can't win Game 5 at home in Milwaukee. We lost in round 2 last year, so I'd like to not lose in round 2 this year if we can avoid it. Can we go up 3-2? It's looking good at the moment to do that. And we may reach the conference finals with one more win. Can we do it? Trey Johnson with a big game there. We're going to a Game 7 with the Hornets here. Eric Dampier is hurt, which is not good. But thankfully, we still have Jarrett Allen. Big Game 7. Just don't lose in round 2. That's all I'm asking. Get us to the conference finals at the very least to end this video off. We're taking a lead in the 4th, and I think we'll hang on to it so we get out of the conference or the second round to get to the conference finals. So, and then playoff stats so far. Rollins is averaging 32, 27 for Trey Johnson, so that's what we need to see. Chicago got to the finals last year, so they're not going to be an easy team to beat. They got Fox, they got Giddey, they got Jasper, Sohan, Cameron Williams, Braylon Mullins. So, yeah, they're deep, man. That's for sure. Kind of terrified, low-key. So, Game 1 is going to go to us, though. Blow them out big time there, but they do win Game 3. They do win Game 4. Ah, man. The Bulls, I just know they're about to beat us, aren't they? Game 4 on the road in Chicago. We have to tie the series up or we are in big trouble. And I think we are in trouble here, fellas. So we are going to probably lose to the Bulls in the conference finals is my guess. We do win Game 5, though, so we're not dead yet. Game 6 on the road in Chicago to force a game back to Milwaukee. It's looking like Chicago has a nice comfortable lead unless we take it at the very end, which we will not. We're going to lose to the Bulls in the conference finals, and they are going to go on to win it all as well. I mean, credit to the Bulls, man. They were a very deep team. I'm not going to just very tough. So that's how this one's going to end. Ryan Rollins, he's balling out this year, and I'm happy for him. Unfortunately, we cannot keep Giannis and him together. It just felt like it made sense to move on from him, but it was a fun video nonetheless. I will see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying Peace.